Hey, good morning, guys. Hopefully, you guys took the time yesterday to watch the video. Pretty much everyone did. There was only a few students that didn't watch it. Again, remember, guys, I'm giving you grades for watching the video, and hopefully you're taking notes and you're pausing it and try to copy things down and maybe replaying some things should you have questions. So please do that. This video again will be really short, just like yesterday. Okay, so this will be our last worksheet kind of before we do a review worksheet, prepping for a quiz that we'll take next week. So here we have questions that are still significance testing for means, but you're not going to have data, which means it's less work. Okay, so very similar to what I've asked you to do the past few days, but less work. Okay, so there's two questions here. My plan was just to kind of speak to the one, do a little writing, but not, it would be really tough to write out the conclusion on here. So what I'll do is just kind of give you a general overview. I wanted to particularly show you the calculator, and then your assignment today will be not only to watch the video, but also to complete the worksheet. Okay. So question one here says, an investor with a stock portfolio worth several hundreds of thousands of dollars sued his broker due to low returns he got from his portfolio during a time when the stock market did well overall. The investor's lawyer wants to compare this performance against the market as a whole. He collects data on the broker's returns from a random sample of 36 weeks. So that's important, the fact that we've sampled 36. Over a 10-year period, the broker has managed portfolios. Stocks in the S&P's 500 index gained an average of 0.95% per week. Okay. Here is our sample stats, which is important because, again, we don't have the data from the 36 weeks. We have our sample size. We have our sample mean, which we should know is another way of saying X bar, and our sample standard deviation, which is, again, another way of just saying S sub X. All right. So the first part would be for us to define our hypotheses, right? Our HO and our HA. We're dealing with means. We're not dealing with proportions, right? Your quiz next week won't have proportions. We've already quizzed on that. This will just be means. This one's always, the HO is always an equal to. In this case, it's saying that, over the 10 years, the average was 0.95%. So 0.95, okay? And this investor is a little concerned that his rate of return is clearly less than 0.95. He thinks that it's performing under what the average has been. So this is going to be a less than test. All right. My next step would be for me to check my conditions. Again, I'm just going to abbreviate right now, but I'll post an answer of this. Would be the random. That's terrible writing there, but I'm telling you guys, it's not. I don't have a mouse either, so it's just all on the touchpad. So it's got to be random. It's got to be 10%. And finally, the normal large sample. All right, normal large sample. I'm not going to write it out. But how is that third and final condition satisfied here? Well, the problem doesn't talk about the overall distribution being normal, and that's okay. Because as long as our sample size, right, is at least 30, so as long as n is greater than or equal to 30, which it is here, this condition is satisfied, okay? So now, moving beyond the conditions, we would now go to the calculator to find our p-value. And then once we get that, we'll make our conclusion. So we're not going to list and spreadsheet. We just need to, basically go to a clear page in the calculator. We're going to hit menu, statistics, stat tests. So hopefully we understand that, right? Statistics, stat tests, and a t-test, okay? We do not have data. We have stats. We set our HO as 0.95. We have a sample mean, all right? Now, that was 0.95%, meaning, you know what? We could keep it in there as that, or we could change it to a decimal. I guess it wouldn't matter as long as we're consistent with it. kind of either way we go here is fine. So if I just want to keep this as 0.95 and I can make, as long as I don't convert the percentages to decimals, as long as I'm consistent, it shouldn't matter. So the next one here is 1.441. Standard deviation was 4.81. And my sample size was 36. Again, so don't worry about like making the decimal, moving it over to and making it 0.0095. As long as we just entered each one of these as we were given, we're good with that. Finally, make sure you change your HA if need be. Here we did make it a less than. Okay, I hit OK. And now the number that I need to really focus on here is the p-value. And we have a really small p-value here, right? 0.0026 or 0.003. Anytime you have a small p-value, right, that's significantly small like that one is, you're going to end up rejecting the HO. It means you have really strong evidence. Now, it doesn't give us a significance level here, and we should know that when it doesn't, we're just going to use the significance level of 0.05. So in my conclusion here, I'm going to write down my p-value of 0.003, and then I'm going to say, because the p-value is less than my significance level, I reject the HO, meaning, like we reject this, right? Which means that we have convincing evidence, right, that this investor is getting significantly less than 0.95% returns on his portfolio. Okay? In other words, we do have evidence to support the lawyer's case. Okay? So again, hopefully that helped. A lot of that we should have very good understanding with. We just need to go to the calculator and kind of see how it's easier to do this when we're given these stats as opposed to just 36 numbers here. But what I would like you to do is I'll post this answer, and in addition to kind of writing down that answer on your paper, please do this sample problem, which is very much like the one that we just did. All right, so watch the video, take the notes, try number 2. All right, I'm also creating a Zoom session for tomorrow. Hopefully see you guys there. If you have questions, enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you soon.